All right, guys, we are live. This is Peter Scott, the Fearless Mindset Mentor, and I appreciate each and every one of you joining me tonight for this online training. The online training is how to get ripped in less time than you ever thought possible without boring treadmills, painful diets, or costly gym dues. I know this is something that many of us have wanted to do. Some of us have, and some of these results have eluded us for many years. So I hope to be sharing some very, very, very valuable information with you on this call. Let's jump right in. Okay, so as I said, how to get ripped in less time than you ever thought possible. And why did I say that? You see, guys, I work with many entrepreneurs. Some of my coaching clients are on this call right now. And I found that the number one excuse people have when it comes to getting in the best shape of their lives is that they're too busy. And I don't fault them for that because we are all incredibly busy. The reality is that we all share the same amount of time. It's not about having the time to prioritize your fitness, it's about making the time to do that. And so in this training, I'm going to go deep into tips and strategies and mindset shifts that's going to incentivize you to actually prioritize this area of your life so that you produce at a higher level in business. Now, my goal for this training is to reveal to you applicable mindset shifts and actionable strategies that will permanently and profoundly transform your health and fitness. The value of this training, guys, is not simply in the information. This is really, really key. The value of this training is in applying this information to your life. You see, each and every single one of us on this call, we know what we need to do to reach our health and fitness goals. We're not lacking information. Now, I could sell, some magic diet pill or product or lotion that promises results without effort, but we both know that that hasn't worked in the past and it's not going to work in the future. At the end of the day, if information was all you needed, then I would simply say to reach these goals, to reach your health and fitness goals, all you have to do is eat healthier and exercise more. Those are literally the two inputs that make all the difference in the world, eating healthier and exercise more. But even with us knowing that, we still are not achieving the results that we want. So what I've learned through my own transformation, and I really appreciate the amount of messages many of you have sent me recognizing the transformation in that before and after picture that I shared that you'll see shortly. But during this and through mentoring many high-performing entrepreneurs, I've discovered that fitness makes up about 20% of your results, and nutrition makes up about 80% of your results. Now, the secret that most people aren't aware of is that mindset, your beliefs, your thoughts about yourself and the world around you is what makes up 100% of your results. It doesn't matter how clear you are on a nutrition plan or an exercise regimen. If you don't have the right mindset, you will not take the action necessary to achieve those results. Now, I know that we all lead incredibly busy lives, so I am honored that you guys are spending the next 60 minutes with me on this training. I know you have 1,000 other things that you could be doing right now, and I just want to recognize you for investing in yourself and prioritizing your health and fitness by being on this training. So as a gift, if you stay until the end of this training, I will be sending you my 4-part Fearless Fitness Challenge video series absolutely free. In this video series, you're going to learn simple daily fitness habits that skyrocket your energy, your focus, and your confidence so that you become more productive in your business. You're also going to learn how to banish the 7 fitness lies holding you back. Now, I know that some of this information is in my newly released book, The Fearless Mindset, that you got access to, but this video series is going to go much deeper in that so that not only do you get valuable information, but you learn how to implement it and make it a part of your everyday lifestyle. So before we jump in, I ask that you be fully present for this training. So please, guys, turn off your phone, your email, your social media, and any other distraction so that you get the full value from this call. Money is something that can be replenished. Time cannot. And so you are making the choice to invest 60 minutes of time with me right now. So I encourage you to pay full attention and minimize those distractions during this training. So what makes this different? First of all, this training, guys, is a culmination of my 10-year journey of studying and mastering health and fitness. I have read countless books, I've attended programs, I have hired mentors, and in this training, I'm going to share with you some of the best stuff that I've discovered. I'm going to try to remove all the overwhelming information that is out there that isn't going to add value to you and just get straight to the most valuable pieces. But before I do that, let me throw out a huge disclaimer. There is no such thing as results without effort. Let me say that again. There is no such thing as results without effort. The late night infomercials and millions of marketing messages that are offering you the get rich quick schemes and the magic diet pills are, to be honest, just completely bullshit. It is impossible to transform your body without doing the work required. And so take a look right now at the level of health and fitness that you're after. Take a look at the love relationship that you really want, the immense career and financial success that you're striving for, and ask yourself, can I achieve these things without effort? Can I achieve these things without being a badass? A badass is someone who takes massive action in the direction of their dreams. So your health and fitness, for example, will you be able to unlock your immense potential in this area without self-discipline, without determination, or without the ability to tolerate a little pain? For most of us, the answer is no. Because if you're on this training right now, guys, then you set a pretty high bar. And a high bar usually requires an intense effort. And what's the difference between an intense workout that yields incredible results, like the CrossFit workout that I went to this morning, and a mediocre workout that yields little or no results? The difference is simply pain. An intense workout hurts, and it hurts good. It's a positive pain, but it is a pain nonetheless. So my question to you is, are you willing to go through that pain to achieve your goals in your body? And ask yourself the same question in the other areas of your life with your financial goals and your love relationship goals. Can you get that amazing body you're after without being a badass at the dinner table and bringing some serious self-discipline with you? You see, the willingness to tolerate some short-term sacrifice is the key. Like, it's not fun sticking to your meal plan at dinner time. We would rather overeat. Self-discipline is definitely not an easy path. But it also happens to be the one character trait that controls all the others. And it's probably the single greatest predictor of your health, of your happiness, of your wealth, and of everything else you want in your lives. I learned this from a mentor of mine named John Butcher, and he instilled this in me at a very young age, and I cannot tell you how many months and years I resisted it and resisted it and resisted it. And what happened? I wasn't hitting the results that I wanted. It wasn't until I took ownership of this and really let go of that desire for instant gratification so that I could actually eventually achieve long-term fulfillment. Now, later in this training, guys, I'm going to share with you why self-discipline, although is important when starting a habit, it's not enough to make a permanent lifestyle change. We'll talk about that now. And before I jump in, let me introduce myself. Who am I? Some of you know me personally, some of you are clients of mine, and some of you probably just came across me today on Facebook. So my name is Peter Scott. I'm the founder of the Fearless Life Academy, where I train high-performing entrepreneurs to unleash the fearless mindset within so that they get fit in less time, skyrocket their income, and become unstoppable. I am also the author of the newly released #1 best-selling book, The Fearless Mindset. This is a book, guys, that I just launched 2 weeks ago. It hit #1 best-selling status in 5 different categories on Amazon. And some of you have already messaged me on the value you've received from it, and it's just an honor for me to have this out there in the world. Now, as you can see in this picture, I was once a fat, miserable investment banker. I was living a lie, to be honest, by working in a career that I wasn't passionate about just so that I could seek the approval and validation from my family. I don't know if any of you can relate to that on this call, but if you're in a career that you aren't loving, then I want you to question it, because we spend most of our waking hours working. So what kind of quality of life are we going to have if we are miserable at the work that we do? Now, in this career, I was making more money than probably 99% of people in their 20s. And I was also working 90 plus hours a week and completely neglecting my health and fitness, as you can see in this picture. And then one day, I received a call from a family member. And I was told that my dad had been rushed to the hospital and that I needed to fly home immediately if I wanted to say goodbye. Now, this was a fourth call that I got like this in about 5 years at this time. And my dad had literally given up on life and drank himself to death. I will never forget, guys. I remember walking into hospice and seeing my dad, a man who had once been, my childhood hero, lying there, just emaciated in bed. No strength, no color to his face, nothing. And I remember holding his hand and asking him, Dad, why did you do this to yourself? Why did you do this to me? And he looked into my eyes and he said, Son, because I am afraid. My dad loved me so much, but he was consumed by the fear of not being good enough and of not living up to the expectations of his parents. Because of that fear, my dad died at 60 years old, and I was only 25. You see, the passing of my father opened up my eyes to how fragile life is, and it made me aware that tomorrow is not guaranteed to any of us. And this is one of the deep drivers in my life of why I prioritize health and fitness. This is why I'm sharing this story with you. After my dad's death, I made a commitment to never let myself, a loved one, or anyone who comes into my life be controlled by fear. I committed to understanding, to mastering, to overcoming my own fears by hiring mentors, attending classes, reading books on this subject. Facing my own fears and helping others break free of their fears led me to do what I do today. It led me to launch the Fearless Life Academy, where I train high-performing entrepreneurs to face their fears and literally live the life of their dreams. Now, I didn't share this story with you to seek sympathy. I shared it with you so that you would understand how my life became consumed by fear and how I became so committed to transforming my health once and for all. As I shared earlier, guys, reaching your health and fitness goals is not an easy task. It's going to require a lot of effort. There are going to be excuses. There are going to be challenges. There are going to be counter commitments. And until you connect with a purpose that is so deep, that is so personal, that is so powerful, that catapults you in the direction of your vision no matter what the cost, then those results are going to continue to elude you. And that's what happened with the passing of my dad. So on this journey, I've done a lot of things right to reach the transformation that I was pursuing. And, of course, I've also done a lot of things wrong. So after doing this and making this change for the last 5 years, there's 3 key things that I want to share with you. Number 1, as I said before, there is no such thing as results without effort. Number 2, lasting transformation, guys, is not created through extreme diets. We are marketed that. We hear that everywhere. And the challenge is, does it create results? Yes, extreme diets do create results. But the problem is, if you lose weight or add muscle or whatever it is that you do, let's say you're losing weight. If you do that in an extreme way in a short amount of time, you often gain that weight back plus more. Okay? And then The other myth is that you don't have to work out for hours on end. I used to think I had to spend 3 hours in the gym a day in order to chisel my body, and that's completely wrong. Now, I discovered these secrets the hard way. And the good news is that on this online training, you kind of get a cheat. You get a compressed time and get the easy way through what I'm about to teach you. Okay? The hard way for me was simply spending countless hours running on the treadmill in the gym and still not getting results. Why was that? Because number one, I didn't enjoy it. If you guys go to a gym right now and you hire a personal trainer and you share your fitness goals with them, and they say go run on a treadmill, but you don't enjoy doing that, I promise you that no matter how great the results would be from doing that, you will not stay committed. And so that's why one of the lessons I want to teach on this training is that you've got to think about what you enjoy about fitness, what you love about it. Until you get clear on that and create a plan that supports that, then you're going to continue to start certain things but never stay committed to them. This has been my experience, and it was a journey of mine for literally probably about 8 years. Okay. The hard way again is also enduring those painful diets where nothing actually happens, or I'd get short-term results, but then I'd gain everything back. And the final thing is wasting money. Money is a byproduct of value creation. Money is a representation of my time and your time. So money is extremely valuable. When I would buy these lose weight quick schemes and then go do something but not stay committed, I would literally be throwing money away. And that's the last thing I want you to be doing. So now it's time to get some simple steps that are going to turn your body into a fat burning machine. And here's the key. Your natural state, guys, is a fat burning machine. The problem is when we work in businesses that keep us sedentary, when we put really bad food into our bodies and rely on caffeine for energy, our natural state of fat burning turns into fat storage. And so the key here is that in the last 12 months, I have worked with countless overwhelmed entrepreneurs create fun fitness habits to actually get ripped even when they had no time. Okay, so let me ask you guys a question. How will it feel when you get in the best shape of your life? Like really, what will it feel like in your body? What will you do with all that extra energy you're about to unleash? Close your eyes and visualize that for a second. Instead of coming home from work and being exhausted and sitting in front of the TV and sedating yourself with food and with mindless information, imagine having the energy to play with your kids, to be fully present. Imagine having the energy to connect with your spouse. Imagine having the energy to pour into your work and be more creative and think clearer and have more focus so that you ultimately have the opportunity to spend new streams of income coming in from places that you didn't even know was possible. In other words, how much better, guys, will your life be when you wake up, look in the mirror, and stand face to face with the confident, unstoppable, and fit person you were born to be? Not only are these results possible, this is what I'm trying to get to you right now. They're virtually guaranteed when you make the right mindset shift, when you commit to the right strategies and adopt these powerful principles that are proven across all ages, genders, and belief systems. So here are the 3 secrets. Here's the content I'm going to share with you that I want you to start writing down. I promise to you that during this training, I will reveal to you how to get ripped in less time than you ever thought possible without boring treadmills, painful diets, or costly gym dues. Now to do that, these are the 3 foundational secrets that support that. Number 1, I can achieve the body of my dreams without starving myself or removing all the foods I love. I'm going to go into more detail into each of these as we move forward. The second secret is this. I can get ripped even if I have no time for fitness or no time to exercise. And the third secret is I don't need to rely on self-discipline or willpower to achieve my health and fitness goals. All right, guys, let's jump right into the secret number one that says I can achieve the body of my dreams without starving myself or removing all the foods I love. Okay, there's a picture of me having a green smoothie, one of my favorite daily rituals. Now, one of the biggest secrets that I've learned over this transformation is that we crave what we give ourselves most of the time. Take a second and write that down. We crave what we give ourselves most of the time. So when I was a fat investment banker, working till midnight in the office, not going to the gym, eating fried foods and tons of sugar and caffeine and energy drinks, those were the exact things that I craved. One of the simple habits I've committed to that has had a profound impact on my health and fitness was having a plant-based green smoothie every single day. And after a few weeks of doing this, I started craving more nutrition plant-based foods versus the fried and high sugar foods. Now, for someone like me who is working from home and working from an office and kind of has a freedom of a schedule, I can make those smoothies. And I already can tell that there's going to be people on this call that have that excuse of I travel too much or I'm too busy, all those things. And I get that. Those are real challenges. And there are times when I will not be home to make that green smoothie. What I'll be doing is looking for the Whole Foods or the Trader Joe's or the juice place that is on Yelp that's in my location for me to get that every single day. It is so crucial. And by doing that and starting my day with that, I actually create more energy throughout my day and do not have those crashes throughout the day of caffeine. So rather than focusing on removing all the things you think you crave or love from your diet, I want you to consider making healthy, nutritious additions to your diet, like a daily green smoothie. You see, the real secret here, guys, is sustainability. The problem with extreme diets, as I said before, where you remove everything that you think you love, is that they're not sustainable. Could you commit to them for a week or a month or 3 months maybe? Sure, you could. But what happens when you finish the diet? What happens when you reach that weight loss goal? For most of us, we gain back all that weight plus more. So rather than focusing on extreme diets, I encourage you to consider a permanent lifestyle change based on small, healthy additions to your diet. There's a concept I want you to write down. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. A friend of mine named Michael Fishman came up with this, and it's called Start One, Stop One. In your health, what is one thing you can start doing and one thing you can stop doing? If you were to only make that commitment, how do you think your body would change? How do you think you would feel if you started one healthy habit and stopped one stopped one unhealthy habit? Instead of making some extreme change, if you just focus on starting one thing and stopping one thing, I promise you, you will have enormous results. Okay. Secret number two is I can get ripped even if I have no time to exercise. Now, how is this possible? How could you transform your body without having time to work out? The distinction here that I want you to understand is that no one has the time to work out, which is why you must instead create the time to work out. So there's a formula that I come up with called the time freedom formula. And it says you can actually get more done in less time by prioritizing your fitness. Now, again, how is it possible to get more done by investing your limited time into fitness? When you commit to exercising every single day, guys, you skyrocket your energy. You increase your focus, you have more confidence, and all of those things empower you to literally get more done in less time. You see, when you start your day with this intense workout, you're able to think clearer and take more action. You put yourself in, as Tony Robbins would say, this peak state or this unstoppable state. And when you are in a high energy, action-oriented state, you can literally accomplish in 4 hours what normally takes you 8 hours to complete, or what takes another person 12 hours to complete. This is why exercise is a non-negotiable daily habit in my life. I don't care how busy I get. I don't care how crazy my travel schedule is. Nothing will get in the way of me moving my body every single day. Nothing. And I share this quote to remind you that you are in control of your time. Carl Sandburg once said, "Time is the coin of your life." It is the only coin you have, and only you can determine how it will be spent. This is called self-responsibility and self-control. And listen, I get it. You've got a lot of demands on your life. You have a lot of commitments and a lot of responsibilities. So instead of showing up as a victim and saying that your boss is controlling your time, or your employees are demanding your time, or your family, or all these things, at the end of the day, you are the decision maker at the center of your own existence, and you can allocate time to the things that you deem are important. When you have that mindset, you see how that impacts the way you treat your body. You see how that can overcome the excuses around not working out and not eating healthy? I hope so. Now, some of you may recognize this man. He's a huge mentor of mine, billionaire entrepreneur Richard Branson. And he was interviewed and asked what the secret to his success was. And as you can see on this slide, he simply answered, "I exercise every single day." Now think about how busy Richard Branson must be, and yet he still has made the commitment to work out every day. So if Branson creates the time to exercise every single day and credits it to his success, then you better believe that I make the same commitment in my own life. And again, you may have a family, you may have children, all those things. The secret here is to prioritize your fitness before the disasters happen, before the unexpected events in your day show up. Now, I finally can consider myself a morning person, but it took me probably about 5 years to make myself one. Okay? But I've noticed that when I do not work out in the morning, if I wait to work out midday or in the evening, then something happens in my business, or I get an invitation from a friend to dinner. It was so much easier for me to neglect and cancel that workout. That's why, whether it is CrossFit or yoga or Pilates or running or surfing or whatever it is that you love about fitness, make the commitment to do it first thing in the morning before the demands of your schedule show up. It's such a key part of success for this in your life. Another principle I want to share about this secret is the decisive action principle. Okay? Now, the decisive action principle says that committing to a daily fitness habit creates decisiveness. So let me share this quote with you. Effective people don't focus on their concerns. They simply act decisively. Fear or no fear. They know that all results come out of decisive action. So rather than looking for the courage or the strength or enough time to do something important, they forget all of that. It's too mentally exhausting to work on all that. So they just drop the preconditions. They know from experience that getting from A to B is always about doing the next required action. Just decide. Just decide. One of my favorite videos is a YouTube video of Will Smith saying that. But this quote, guys, comes from the book Straight Line Leadership. I highly recommend it if you want a great life-changing business book to read. So here's the deal. Making a commitment to your fitness is the quickest way to start acting decisively. You see, when you commit to a daily fitness habit, such as sweating every single day, you start cultivating a more powerful inner state. You take control of your day. And as you build this inner strength, outer decisiveness naturally follows. And as you know, the more decisive you are, guys, the more you get done in less time. You no longer waste hours and hours mentally pontificating and wavering on a decision. You decide swiftly and act with certainty, freeing you from being a slave of time. Imagine if you compressed your decision-making time down to instantaneously. How much would that free up for you to do the things that you've wanted to do that you've been neglecting? Okay, on to secret number 3. Secret number 3 says, I don't need to rely on self-discipline or willpower to achieve my health and fitness goals. Now, earlier on in this training, I said that self-discipline is crucial to reaching your health and fitness goals. So let me clarify this for you if you feel confused. You see, guys, self-discipline and willpower are required when starting a habit, but they're not sustainable. You see, self-discipline and willpower are limited resources in your life. So eventually, you will run out. So let me ask you a question. Do you rely on self-discipline and willpower to brush your teeth every day? No, of course not. You just do it without thinking about it, right? Well, this next secret is going to reveal this important distinction that will forever transform your life. Okay? Now, as powerful as goals are, they're not enough. I am a big, big believer in goal setting. But if all you do is set destinations, then you will never walk on the journey required to reach that destination. Here's the distinction, guys. Goals, by their very nature, are episodic. They are things to be achieved, and once you accomplish them, they get crossed off your list. Lose 10 pounds, check. Double my income, check. Create a passionate, purposeful love relationship, check. Habits, by their very nature, are ongoing. They never get crossed off the list. They are behaviors and actions that happen consistently and rhythmically over time. So the biggest secret that you've never been told is this. Goals are the key to creating great habits, and habits are the key to accomplishing your goals. I want you to write that down. Goals are the key to creating great habits, and habits are the key to accomplishing your goals. This is something that I learned from a man named John Butcher, who some of you on this training know personally. He's been a mentor in my life. He's the chairman of Precious Moments and founder of a company that I worked with for 5 years called Lifebook. And this was probably one of the most powerful distinctions I've ever learned in my life and has impacted every area of my life. So as I shared here, John Butcher taught me this. Eventually what you want to create, guys, is this: unconscious structured rhythms that shape your identity without relying on self-discipline and willpower. Imagine approaching your fitness and nutrition like brushing your teeth. Like you don't even have to think about it. You just do it. It becomes your identity. That is what is possible for you. That's what I mean by, and what John means by, unconscious structured rhythms. So what is that ritual for you? I've talked a lot about on this training about working out every day and having a green smoothie every day. And that's important. Those are a foundation to putting yourself in a powerful state so that you can take massive action. But there's other crucial habits as well, like meditation, like reading and studying, like connecting in a powerful way with the key relationships in your life, with your family, with your children, with your lover. You see, the moment you start neglecting relationships is the moment you start leaking power. You cannot reach your fullest potential in your business when your home life is not right. It's not possible. So these past 30 minutes, would you agree that it's been time well spent so far? If so, type yes, guys, into the chat box so I can see you guys are still there. We've got people from all over. It's awesome to have all of you on here. You know, I can't cover everything that you need, obviously, in a webinar. And so what I want to do is make a very powerful invitation for you. And if you act fast, what I'll do is I'll offer a special deal as well. Now, before I do that, I just want to make a really important point, and it's this. Information alone is not going to get you ripped. As valuable as this information was that I just shared with you, information alone is not going to get you in the best shape of your life. You need to rewire limiting beliefs, overcome fears, and most importantly, need accountability systems so that you actually stay committed to what your habits and your goals are. And so for those of you on this training that are highly committed to getting in the best shape of your life, while conquering those fears, those limited beliefs in your mind that we addressed during this training, so that you can actually create the life that you've only dared to imagine, then I invite you to join me at my upcoming Fearless Life Academy event in San Diego. Now, before I describe this experience to you guys, I need you to understand one important truth. You see, with a slight shift in your current thinking, you have the potential to be ultra healthy, immensely wealthy, happy, and fulfilled in literally every area of your life. Doing is important, and you would receive actionable strategies here. But your thinking is the most important thing. However, most people will never even come close to achieving their true potential, and they won't even realize a fraction of what they're capable of. And my question is, why is that? Why do you think so many people go through this life in this mundane existence? What I've discovered is that it's because there are countless forces involved, like forces that most people would rather ignore than actually address. But if you are on this training, then you were meant for much more, and you clearly desire much more. In fact, you have at your command the unique ability, and I talk about this in my book, to instill the fearless code into your DNA, a code so powerful that once unlocked allows you to literally live a fearless life. Imagine still experiencing fear, but being more courageous and confident than you could ever imagine in business, in relationships, in your body. How would your life be different if that was the case? So my question to you is simple. Are you ready to unleash the fearless entrepreneur within and create the life that you've only dared to imagine? Awesome. I already see yeses coming up in the comment box here. So here's the thing. There are four non-negotiable areas of your life that we focus on at the Fearless Life Academy. And I want you to stay on this training right now for this because this is going to impact your life. This content right here is incredibly important. So why do we focus on four areas? Because every area in your life, guys, is interconnected. You simply cannot reach your highest potential in business if you're neglecting your body and relationships. That's why I talk so much about being fit gets you paid. It doesn't matter how focused you are in business. If you're lacking energy and you don't feel confident, then you're not going to show up to your fullest potential. And you can't create the body of your dreams if you're consumed by a financial scarcity all day long. If you're struggling financially, I get it. Like money, when you don't have money, it's like air. It's like oxygen. It's all you think about. So that's why we must address all four areas. The first area that we look at is body. And of course, it's related to the content of this online training about getting in the best shape of your life, even if you have no time. Okay, so during the event, you're going to discover simple daily fitness and nutrition habits that skyrocket your energy, your focus, and your confidence so that you make more money in your business. I cannot instill a connection strong enough between these two things. The second is you're going to make that or discover that mindset shift around nutrition that will keep you eating healthy for the rest of your life. There's so much information out there that we're overwhelmed. What you need is not more information. What you need is just rewire some deep internal beliefs. And when you do that, you literally become unstoppable. And the third thing, guys, is to discover how to once and for all become consistent with your workouts so that you no longer have to rely on your self-discipline, willpower, and willpower to exercise daily. Two things I just want to recommend around this. Number one, make fitness fun. Figure out what you love about it and do that. And number two, variety. No matter how much I love CrossFit, if I did CrossFit every single day, number one, that'd be really intense for my body. But number two, I would get bored by it. That's why I'll switch up between yoga and CrossFit and rock climbing and running and all these different things. Okay. The second area that we focus on at the Fearless Life Academy is mindset, and particularly on how to create a fearless mindset so that you become unstoppable. We're going to dive deep into how to overcome the four most common fears that separate the strong from the weak, the wealthy from the poor, and the lovers from the lonely. We're going to strategically remove all limiting people, habits, and beliefs from your life. Imagine that. Imagine if you were to wave a magic wand right now and remove all the toxic relationships in your life, or at least create boundaries through a challenging conversation with that person to no longer allow them to treat you the way they've been treating you. How much power would that unleash inside of you? And the final thing is discovering how to turn your focus into a laser so that you see your goals clearly and hit them consistently. Most of you on this call are entrepreneurs. As entrepreneurs, we're very creative people and we get distracted very easily. I know I do. There's a million things that I could be doing. And so the key is learning how to focus and say no to the 99% of other things that we view as opportunities but are really distractions. We go deep into the training on that. The third category is relationships. Okay? Now, relationships, this is a relationship with your spouse, with your lover, with your family, with your kids, each of these areas. So when it comes to love relationship, which is really an incredibly important one, you're going to learn how to become almost irresistibly attractive to the opposite sex, even if you've been together for a long time. Now, this sounds like a bold promise. I get it. And imagine how much your life would be better if you had passion, intimacy, and romance was pouring out of your relationship. And that starts with you. You're going to learn how to communicate more effectively, how to speak your desires and your wants very clearly. For the men on this call, you're going to step fully into and express and experience your masculine energy and power so that you become magnetic. And the final thing is how to harness your sexual energy to supercharge your creativity, your magnetism, and your love life. This is what Napoleon Hill calls sexual transmutation. This has been one of the greatest impacts in my life of taking my sexual energy and being able to channel it into creation, into business. Trust me, this one thing will make more money for you than you can ever imagine. The final category, the final area, guys, is business. Okay. And we're going to talk about how to skyrocket your income. Number one, we're going to focus on mindset of money, and we're going to destroy the fear around money and permanently do away with your scarcity mindset. I have some of the best financial mentors in the world. I've studied mindset around money. I think it's more important than any tangible investment strategy you learn in a book or a training, and that's where we start. Number two is how to multiply your income without having to work longer hours. Listen, I work a lot. I'm passionate about what I do, but I also am incredibly focused and I am very selective with what I am doing and the projects that I'm choosing. So that's what I want to train you is a system on how to make that decision so that you're not working so many hours that you actually don't enjoy your quality of life. The third thing is learning to emotionally and mentally open yourself up to wealth and opportunity to break through to new levels of financial abundance. Okay? That's what we're going to focus on at the Fearless Life Academy. Now, I've learned from past experience, guys, that old habits die hard. So if you feel that you can do this alone, I simply ask you, what are you going to do differently now to create the results that have eluded you? This is why accountability and association with other people that are on that same journey, that have similar goals and are facing similar challenges, is so crucial to implementing this new way of being into your own life. So the question is, who has this worked for? You know, I work with very high performing entrepreneurs, and this training has worked for the entrepreneur who has neglected his health and relationships. It works for the corporate professional who wants to leave their boring job and become an entrepreneur. And it really works for any person who is committed to conquering fear and creating the life they've only dared to imagine. This could be a salesperson. This could be a business owner. Now, this particular event, guys, the Fearless Life Academy, is for men only. And the reason I do that is because my focus with making experiences like this is to focus on groups that are relatable, on people that have similar challenges and are moving in the direction of similar goals. So working directly with men, I believe, is the greatest impact I could ever have on a woman's life. If I can impact a man in a woman's life, then that is far greater than I can do by bringing men and women together in this experience. So this is for men only. I want to take a moment to just share a couple things, a couple testimonials from people that I've worked with. Sean Stevenson, many of you probably recognize Sean here. He has said, I don't know anybody who actually loves the process of becoming fit as much as Peter Scott, who makes fitness fun and accelerates the growth of his clients' businesses through their new fitness habits. Another great guy is Roberto Monaco, who's a founder of Influenceology. And he has said, attend this event, overcome your fear, and put your life into high gear. The guy's a poet, I guess. Peter Scott is the embodiment of transforming fear into extraordinary results. The Fearless Life Academy offers you a step-by-step experience to overcome your fears and achieve greatness in your personal and professional life. And the final one I want to share comes from one of my most powerful mentors, a man named John Butcher that, again, some of you know. He's the chairman of Precious Moments, the founder of Lifebook, and he said, finally, an event about the powerful connection that exists between health and wealth. A must attend for every entrepreneur. So now I want to talk about what you're going to get by attending. The Fearless Life Academy event, number one, is valued at $1,997. In addition to this 3-day event, you're going to get a one-on-one coaching session with me after the event to really make sure that you implement and you have a clear plan moving forward in your life. And that's a $497 value. So the value of this experience is $2,494. Now you have a choice to make here. You can choose to invest in yourself, which leads to lasting health and wealth, or you can continue to hold on to excuses of why you don't have either. And remember, at the end of the day, it's your choice. And I've faced these same two choices. That's what I want to share with you. I had these same two choices when I was considering joining a mastermind, and this is a mastermind that helped me launch my coaching business from scratch. I could have refused to invest in myself and continued to miss out on the results that I desired. Maybe eventually I would have got them, but I didn't want to wait. Or I could have invested in myself to receive the dividends for the rest of my life. And that's what I chose to do. So again, you're going to get the live event plus a coaching session. Another thing for all of you that are on this call still, thank you. You're going to get 8 expert interview recordings with the world's fittest entrepreneurs. These are the audios that I did. Some of them are in the book, some of them are not. So you're going to get ones that no one in the public has actually gotten access to. That's $197 value, and it's for the first 12 people that apply to the event. Bonus number 2 is, of course, my 4-part Fearless Fitness video course. That's a $97 value, and this too is for the first 12 people that apply. So again, you're going to get the live event at $1997. You're going to get the coaching session, a $497 value, 8 expert interviews at $197, and the video course at $97 value. That totals to $2,788. Now, if all this did was skyrocket your energy so that you made more money, would it be worth it? Would it be worth it? $2,788. If all this did for you was strategically remove all the limiting people, habits, and beliefs from your life, would it be worth it? And finally, if all this did was turn your focus into a laser so that you see your goals clearly and hit them consistently, would that be worth this investment? You can see why it's a good deal at $3,000. But because you are highly committed and you're on this call, I'm going to give you a great opportunity right now. This event is limited to 12 to 20 people. It's a very exclusive event. I want to make this one of the most life-changing experiences that you have ever had. And I want to remove all barriers to entry so that the investment is not an obstacle for you. So what I encourage you to do is this. Number one, you can't go to a sales page and buy this. Even if you're willing to pull out a credit card right now, I'm not going to ask you to do it because each person that comes into this event impacts everyone else. So I have got to interview them. So what I want you to do is go to www.thefearlesslifeacademy.com. There's a video there for you to watch, and there's a lot of information for you to find out more about this event. At the bottom, you're going to be asked to apply for an interview. You're going to ask to fill out an application. It's going to ask you questions about your body, about your business, about your goals, about your challenges. And what we're going to do is schedule a one-on-one call where you and I get on the phone and roll up our sleeves and dive deep. I want to know what you're wanting to accomplish. I want to know what has slowed you down and stopped you in the past. And I want to make sure that you're actually a fit that can bring value to this event. That is the most crucial thing. So the real question is it worth investing just a few minutes of your time right now to check this event out? Which if it does even half of what I've claimed today on this webinar, obviously it's going to pay for itself. Now there are two people, actually we're going to skip that. Let me show, okay, so the last thing that you do guys is this. Go to www.thefearlesslifeacademy.com and read through the information there, watch the video, and fill out that event or fill out the application. I really, really, really appreciate you being on this call. I know that we all lead incredibly busy lives, and we have so many commitments that could come up for us. So it's a real honor to have you a part of this training. This is the first training I've done in this capacity. So it's been a privilege to have you on here. Again, this is just a recap of what you're going to get: the live event, the one-on-one coaching session afterwards, the bonus 8 expert interview recordings, and of course, a Fearless Fitness video course valued at $2,788. The price will only be $997 for you, but again, we need to get on the phone and have our interview. You've got to go to thefearlesslifeacademy.com right now to fill out an application and schedule a call with me. Once you do that, we will talk this week or early next week. It's been an honor. I appreciate you for being here. This is Peter Scott reminding you to get clear, be certain, and stay fearlessly committed to creating better